So it turns out Skyrim is still amazing. Even after 15 years, it's dope as fun, everyone's favourite game, and the greatest open world RPG. Because there's a timelessness to it. It's fit to bursting with iconic locations, memorable quests, and timeless dialogue.
I used to be an adventurer like you.
Then I took an arrow up inside my arsehole.
You weren't expecting that, were you? Now, that was just me doing an impression for the lols, but it does lead me to one of the things that makes Skyrim truly great. And that's stuff like this. And now, I'm not talking about glitches here. Well, actually, I kind of am, because they are a big part of what makes Skyrim great. But more broadly, I'm talking about the unexpected. Because there are so many events and gameplay moments that occur in Skyrim that are just wholly unexpected, like this. Even for a game that has endured for this long and is frequently replayed and beloved by a passionate and voluminous community, it still holds surprises even for veteran Skyrimmers. But yes, a great many unexpected things that happen in Skyrim are the result of the game generating something it's not actually supposed to. Like this.
Let me guess. Someone stole your sweet roll.
Because you see, Skyrim is a game where anything can happen. Like when you're just making your merry way around and a dragon drops a giant on you from above. Or when you're just chilling by a lake and a severed head floats by. I mean, that's a really weird one, that one. I was actually weirded out by that. But that's the best kind of thing that can happen in a game, for me. That's the water cooler shit right there. And I think it's the kind of thing that developers dream of. Something unexpected. I think every dev wants their game to offer the player an experience or an occurrence that comes out of nowhere and is memorable. Those WTF moments are what players crave. You know, something that's clippable. Something that you can't wait to tell your friends about the next day at the old quarry. And it makes exploring in Skyrim feel amazing, because you never know what's going to happen next. You never know when it's going to go down, so you always have to be prepared. And Skyrim is so rich in detail as well, because in addition to sudden mayhem, there's also so much environmental storytelling and world building. Of course, you've got your innumerable dungeons, caves, tombs, mines and bandit camps, which all come with their own state of affairs. But there's even more to discover outside of these areas, kind of like little environmental Easter eggs. Like this giant mud crab shell. Here's one of the many environmental story skeletons. Or these hunters who are bathing in the hot springs. And I actually didn't stumble upon these guys until like my third playthrough or something. And if you steal their clothes, then they get aggro and need to be destroyed.
I can't let you get close.
Sometimes you might get accosted by a fugitive asking you to... Oh, hold on. Sorry about that. Yeah, so sometimes you might get accosted by a fugitive who asks you to... Oh, God. Forget it. Something's supposed to happen if you don't get interrupted by random trolls and skeletons. But anyway, look here. It's a cow that's been painted. What's that about, you ask? Well, let's ask the farmer.
I'd stay away if I...
You see, anything can happen. Whew. Right, sorry, go on, you were saying?
I'd stay away if I were you.
Oh yeah, why's that then?
I'm on my way to a giant camp, and I can't guarantee those beasts won't think you're part of the offering.
So, right, he's off to a giant camp. I think we better keep an eye on this and make sure he gets there all right. So, while Skyrim does often bequeath the unexpected upon you, it does also have a great deal of predictability. The NPCs all have their own individual routines, work schedules, set bedtimes, and regular hangouts. And more often than not, the NPCs you encounter are on errands that can be followed all the way to their stated destinations. Just like this one. Oh God. Well, we've done all we can do. Nothing left but to find the corpse and check it for potatoes. So these random encounters create a melange, if you will, of emergent gameplay opportunities. And when you couple that with the sheer variety of ways that you can approach the game, well then that makes for one highly replayable Skyrim game. And no two playthroughs are the same. Your adventure will be very different depending on how you choose to tackle the wacky world of Tamriels' frozen section. NPCs will react differently to you depending on your race and appearance.
Next time, you might want to get dressed before leaving the house.
And your combat encounters will vary wildly depending on your chosen weapon and skills. Whether you choose to be a sneaky cat stealth archer, an orc barbarian, a dark elf mage who dabbles in a bit of stealth archery, or an imperial spell sword, or indeed a stealth archer nord. Or hey, maybe you want to put all your skill points into mastering the shield and grow up to be a battering ram. It's all possible in Skyrim. And while the temptation to clear every dungeon with stealth archery is almost irresistible, I myself am a huge fan of swinging big two-handed weapon sticks. It's just uncomplicated and satisfying, and you can't beat the kill cams. And the combat has got a really great weight to it. It's just got that PS3 era realness or something. But even if none of the above appeals to you, then you can just get someone else to fight all your battles for you. Sometimes, sort of. So this is Mercurio.
Well, look what the Horker dragged in.
You can find him in the Bee and Barb Tavern in Riften, where he drinks only the finest invisible wine. And he's one of the other reasons that Skyrim is genius. Not least of all because he is one tough mother licker.
Divine smile on you, friend.
And he's just one of many followers that can be befriended or hired in Skyrim for their useful abilities in battle. Unless you're a stealth archer, because most followers are prone to blowing your cover and tripping booby traps. God damn it, Lydia. But they're strong, and they're not afraid of any fight.
I know nothing of fear.
And are also really helpful for lightening the load when it comes to lugging loot. But mostly, I just find their presence is a comfort. It's nice when they're just there, following quietly along and occasionally chipping in with a bit of colour commentary as you explore.
Wow, would you look at that?
Because you see, the wild overworld and the deep underground of Skyrim can feel pretty lonely at times. But it feels slightly less so when you've got one of the local goobers at your back. And it's surprising how attached you can become to them. And it's terribly saddening when they die, having laid down their life for you. So sad. And it's for that reason that I don't keep a doggy companion in Skyrim. But it can be heartbreaking when your favourite follower inexplicably gets lost and disappears. But then it can also be an equally joyful relief when they inexplicably reappear too.
Divine smile.
And so
on
by
you.
forming such a simple connection, it makes the game feel so much more immersive. And that's already an area where Skyrim excels. The immersion and overall atmosphere in this game is absolutely coconuts. First off, just from a presentation standpoint, it's so rich. There's a dynamic weather system with shifting fog and clouds, and water ripples on the river when it rains, etc. There's light rays up the yin-yang, and the skies in this game are just on another level. And then that's all amplified by the game's stellar soundtrack, which ranges from ambient, dreamy drones at midnight under the aurora, to weary horns and strings as you look out across rugged plains. Oh look, there's a dragon there, see that? It's probably got beef with a mud crab or something. And then there's the sound effects too. There's a real spatial quality to the Foley in this game, like it's bouncing and echoing off the nearby mountains. The clanking of a pickaxe or a blacksmith's hammer in the distance, or the roar of a dragon on the distant horizon. It's immersive as all heck. And then from a gameplay perspective, well then it's even more so immersive as all fuck. Now we've already talked about the various ways you can approach the combat, skip back if you fell asleep during that part. But there's a whole host of things you can do in Skyrim besides clattering people with hammers. There's alchemy, forging weapons, making jewellery, wood chopping, cooking. You can read books and learn all about Skyrim's history, and you can build your own house. even sawing your own logs to save money on the lumber. There's a lot to get stuck into in Skyrim. And although I play vanilla Skyrim for the most part, there is one mod which I find is absolutely essential for immersive purposes in Skyrim, and that's the survival mode mod, which adds even greater dynamics and variety to how you experience the world. It introduces tiredness and temperature and creates a need for you to sleep in a bed to refresh yourself as well as level up when necessary, and the need to find warmth and shelter to avoid freezing to death in a blizzard or icy water. It introduces a hunger meter, making procuring food an essential part of your adventure, and it also makes fast travel inactive. So all journeying across Skyrim must be done on foot or on horseback or by rented carriage where available. It just adds to the depth in a major way. And so it means you have to plan what you're going to do next, making sure you're well rested and equipped with hot food before undertaking any long journeys. It makes Skyrim one of those games that, when you turn it off and go to bed at night, you think about what you're going to do in it the next time you boot it up again. And then when you wake up the next day, it's the first thing you think about. And this is coming from someone who's got adult responsibilities, you know? But fuck them, playing Skyrim here. Another great thing about Skyrim that I don't think gets enough credit is the compass. The navigational display at the top of the screen shows you the direction in which locations and objectives lie, but that's it. No breadcrumb trail, no steps remaining counter, so it's just up to you to navigate your way there. Sometimes there are paved roads you can follow, but sometimes cross-country traversal is the only way to go. And then if you find yourself in the proximity of an as-yet undiscovered location, then that will also appear on your compass as you get close, tempting you to deviate from your pre-planned destination. So if you want to find new places and make new discoveries, then you can find them with a good mix of exploration and vague guidance. It's such a good system. But if you do want breadcrumbs and more obvious guidance, then there's always the clairvoyant spell Illusory Magic, which helps guide you to your destination. Because that's the other thing about Skyrim. There's very little friction. You just start playing and the game lets you enjoy it however you want to. Some RPG games are just so abstruse, with incomprehensible levelling systems and skill trees that look like spreadsheets. But what I really love about Skyrim is just how accessible it is, and you can enjoy it on whatever level you like. It can be as simple as swinging a sword and chugging health potions with a bit of stealth archery on the side, and you're off, and it just works. But as you get more familiar with the game and its systems, then it's not much of a stretch to master alchemy and smithing and illusion magic, and to start to get some game-breaking builds going. You don't even need to get bogged down in anything that doesn't interest you, not even the main quest. Such fun. And then finally, there's just this undefinable quality to Skyrim that I can only describe as Skyrim. And I think it's what the French call je ne sais quoi. It's just the everything. The weight of it, the feel, the vibes. It's just pure Skyrim, and it's utterly timeless. So, to summarise, pretty good game, still some glitches and persistent bugs, and the latest Switch 2 version is a poorly optimised cash grab. 7 out of 10. Shit. Like and subscribe.